The American President Joe Biden hit the campaign trail in Michigan and has continued with his relentless sprint to persuade the lawmakers, the donors and voters that he's actually in some pretty good shape, both physically and mentally. His campaigns have come amidst mounting pressure for him to drop out of the U.S. presidential race. The 81-year-old American president made a surprise stopover in Detroit and acknowledged speculation surrounding his candidacy. He even joked that he's just beginning out and perhaps feels that he's nothing more than 41 years old and that there's a lot more that he can actually do as an American politician.
For the longest time, I was too young because I was the second youngest man ever elected to the United States Senate. And now I'm too old. But I know, hopefully with a little bit of age comes a little bit of wisdom. And hopefully that in this moment, I think the alternative is not much of an alternative.
Now, Joe Biden's first solo press conference the previous day witnessed the president present a detailed picture of his policies, but the verbal flops referring to Ukraine's Zelensky as President Putin and Vice President Kamala Harris as Vice President Trump ruined his efforts.
Russia will not prevail in this war. Ukraine will prevail in this war, and we'll stand with them every single step of the way. That's what the compact says, loudly and clearly. And now I want to hand it over to the president of Ukraine, who has as much courage as he has determination. Ladies and gentlemen, President Putin. Look, I wouldn't have picked Vice President Trump to be vice president, but I think she was not qualified to be president. So let's start there. Number one. The fact is that the consideration is that I think I'm the most qualified person to run for president. I beat him once, and I will beat him again.
The Biden's Secretary of State Anthony Blinken, the Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin and also the National Security Advisor sat in the audience, and their dismayed expressions after the gaffe were captured on camera. Thereafter, 24 former Democrat lawmakers sent a letter to Biden calling for an open convention this summer to decide the 2024 ticket. They have warned that if the president stays on the ballot, it would mean that the party would not only lose the White House but also decimate their ranks in the Congress. However, analysts believe that Biden was in fact pretty fluid and did extremely well at the recently concluded NATO summit, and that every flab was being manifested tenfold.
In this session,
presidents make gaffes all the time. They say things that they don't mean to say. But because of Biden's debate performance and these growing, and then what the polls show about him losing to Trump, and growing doubts among leading Democrats that he can win and defeat Trump, every flub is magnified tenfold.
Meanwhile, the list of business leaders calling for President Biden to step aside has grown. The latest addition is Richard Branson, the founder of the Virgin Group. In a blog post, Branson heaped praises on the president for his accomplishments while in the White House. But he also underscored that now is the time that he should consider what's at stake and should step back from the run. To add to the misery, several major donors have informed the Biden campaign that they'll be withholding nearly about $90 million of the promised funds if Biden does indeed get the ticket. Now, according to reports, the frozen amounts include multiple 8-figure commitments. Biden is the oldest man ever to serve as the American president. He's had a series of verbal slip-ups. In an interview with Philadelphia's radio station about a week ago, Biden mistakenly referred to himself as the first black woman to serve with a black president. He had momentarily confused himself with Vice President Kamala Harris while he was reflecting his time as the vice president under former President Barack Obama. For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.